cigar man. I'm a cigar man. Big up, baby. You know I'm smoking. Cigar like a woman, round but not too firm. Even though it's smoking slow, fire'll get you burned. I'm a cigar man. Billy, oh honey, you know you got me smoking. Smoke them when they're short, smoke them when they're long.
Do what we're going to do when we're shish and a sniff are flying out front of us. Uh-oh, technical difficulties now.
Stupid. I need a mouse. Yeah, wada.
I need a mouse, but
hello, everybody. I am John.
And I am Dean.
And we are Smoking Salads.
Oh, there we are now. See us now.
Yep. Nick is out tonight. He's out on assignment. So
we got the. Oh, there we go.
There's like a 20
I was like the
delay.
sports desk. Where the hell the sports desk come from?
No.
Like what the f?
No, Nick's out. He's out on Orcas Island in the San Juans. Doing his second honeymoon. So he will be probably calling in here when we get going. And he does have a taster that we provided for him, so he'll be able to sit outside along the ocean front and have a conversation. Yep. So that,
Floating and Smoking's joined us.
Who?
Floating and Smoking.
Floating and Smoking and
Ryan Pulse. That's a new channel.
Ryan.
So he and I are both kind of doing the fishing thingy. You know.
Nice. Tell us what you're smoking. Tell us what you're drinking.
Eric's is on. So Ryan says he's smoking the CAO Bones. That's a fantastic cigar. And Gatorade Zero Glacier Cherry. You are a cherry, Ryan. Gerald is on. Eric's is on. Eric's is drinking Eagle Rare. Store pick, of course, probably. Finishing up a Bones as well. Then he'll grab a Punch Fu Man Chu. Oh, yeah.
Fu Man Chu.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and show everybody the cigar. Gerald, glad you could join us. So this is the cigar that we are doing. It is the Punch Fu Man Chu. And if you can notice, you'll see that there's a Maduro tail wrap. And so this is done off of, so Punch did a series of these cigars to commemorate the Chinese New Year with the Year of the Tiger, but
and
Dean
wanted to do the Cream of Some Young Guy, but
I
didn't sound really good to me, so he went with the Fu Manchu instead.
Hey, Jeff Plummer is on. He is smoking an Alec Bradley Tempest Maduro. Of course he is. Yeah, I think he said it's the best Alec Bradley he's ever smoked. It is a good cigar, though. The Tempest Maduro is a very good cigar. And he's drinking a Sazerac Rye. I think that's a 7-year or 8? It's like 7-year or 8-year, I think. Anyway,
I don't think it has an age statement on it.
Well, I think normally they say 7 years. When
maybe.
Yeah.
Rye.
Lee Marshall is on. He's also smoking an Alec Bradley Tempest Maduro, and he's drinking the Rittenhouse Rye. You know what, though? For the price, that Rittenhouse Rye, we need to do that on the show. Because the Rittenhouse is like $25.
Oh, yeah. It's an excellent rye.
But when I did a blind rye tasting competition over at the Ogre Lounge, that was my favorite rye.
Really?
Because it had this orange citrus flavor to it.
Uh-huh.
And it was nice and smooth. It was easy drinking. That's why I liked it. It wasn't like a big, heavy hitter, powerful.
Yeah, I do like it. I do like Wilderness Trail a bit more.
Okay. Yes, but out of the ones that we were trying that night, you know, like I said, there was some wild turkey, there was some other stuff.
Oh no, they gave it to me and compared it against Sazerac. Sazerac was my favorite for a long time.
Yes,
Why?
Sazerac was your favorite.
It was my favorite over the Rittenhouse.
I like the citrus of the Rittenhouse, that orange flavor. I really like that.
Yeah.
It's a really good ride. Anyway, back to the cigar. What Punch did to commemorate the Chinese New Year, so this is the fourth installment. This particular cigar is the fourth installment. They came out with the egg roll, the chop suey, and the kung pao. And I believe Friday night I smoked the kung pao at the Ogre Lounge. And that particular one has the last quarter-inch to half-inch of the cigar. They actually cut the wrapper off, and you get nothing but the binder.
I think it's Kung Pao.
Huh? Kung Pao. Oh, Kung Pao. Whatever. So anyway, price point on this cigar, it was, well, John grabbed the wrapper. It was like $6.85. So it ranges anywhere between $5 to almost $7. This is a soft square press. It's not a firm one. I don't have the container that these come in, but the container is supposed to be like a Chinese to-go container, but it's got graphics all over it and everything like that.
Yeah, so I think they're distinguishing, and this is a guess, they're distinguishing a square press versus a box, because sometimes the box can be rectangular and mouthfeel. This is just kind of a
soft edges.
Yeah,
like
soft edges.
Soft rounded edges.
It's almost round, but it's square when you roll it around.
Let everybody see the front or the foot of the cigar there. This is made by General Cigar, and General was actually not called General anymore. It was purchased by the Scandinavian Tobacco Company, also known as GC. I don't know. Some of the brands that you may know that GC / Scandinavian / General.
Well, Scandinavian Tobacco Company is a holding company. Then you have Forged, which is Tony Monahan's brands.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you have General, which is still Patrick's brands.
Okay.
So they still exist.
Okay.
They're just under the umbrella
right,
of Scandinavian Tobacco Company now.
I'm just going to say General for tonight.
It is General.
It is General. Some of the cigars that you may know that they make, they do the Joyo de Monterrey, the Cohiba, the La Gloria Cubana, of course the Punch and Partagas, just to name a few. There's a lot more that they have outside of that. The first three cigars that they did were named after food, right? You know, you got the egg roll, the chop suey, the kung pao, right? Well, they wanted to go with the mastermind, the evil, from the old days of the Chinese movie there. Oh.
The guy takes it a little
They had the big Fu Man Chu beard, the mustache going down, and the big ponytail in the back. A lot of times they would wear sometimes like a little headband thing going across their head.
Yeah.
And they would have like a jade or
Fu Manchu isn't the evil guy, though. You're thinking of the other kung fu guy who took on the Shaolin Temple and destroyed.
I don't know.
the
They
Shaolin
just
Temple.
say the fourth edition ever popular line of the cigar is the Fu Manchu cigar. This version gets away from the Chinese takeout theme and goes in the direction of the super villain Kung Fu Master.
Okay.
The entire
Fu Manchu
look,
was the evil guy.
the entire look of the cigar is meant to represent the Fu Manchu goatee style of the characters that they played, with the exaggerated pigtail cap. The takeout theme comes back when you actually purchase the box. The box is supposed to look like let's see, it's supposed to be like a takeout style of soup container with the Year of the Tiger imagery on it, because this year is the Year of the Tiger for the Chinese New Year. Punch, they make about 6,400 boxes of this, so this is a limited cigar.
Okay.
With 20 cigars in a box, or it's not really a box. It's a circular soup container with graphics on it. It's a big one though.
Yeah.
But it's not a box. It's a
container.
circular container.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a box because it doesn't have four sides. It's
Just
got
call it a container.
two sides and one circular thingy.
Yeah. It does pack a wallop.
Yeah. So that's enough on that one. Let me go ahead and light my cigar up. Let's see what else we got here. Nick Woods is on. Jess is watching as well, of course. Why not? Yeah, where's Rod? I don't know where Rod... Oh, Rod's on there. Hey, Rod, how's it going, buddy? Hey Rod, we're going fishing. I'm going fishing with Ryan on Monday for some Springer salmon, buddy. So let me go ahead and light this cigar up. John, go ahead and tell everybody what you got off the nosing of the cigar and what you got after you smoked it and did a couple retro hells.
Yeah, so off the nose, I got your typical barn funk that you get off of most cigars. Nothing else really stood out, you know, those coffee notes or, you know, some other kind of a fruity combination. So it was just pretty much, for me, straight barn funk. Now I smelled the head, the foot, the wrapper, just kind of all the way around to see if I can get a nuance of something. Your typical aromas that you get from a cigar. On the tasting, yeah, there's definitely an espresso note in there. Definitely some cedar, some nuts. Retrohale, you get the pepper, you get the baking spices. There's just a lot of flavors in here. It's just I'm only in it for the first eighth of an inch, but at least wanted to talk to it while Dean is expressing or experiencing his first puff out of it. Usually for me, it takes, you know, maybe half an inch to really get in there and pull out a lot of the flavors. Let them warm up because you're still kind of burning off the extra hot when you first start this. So it kind of calms down after that and goes right into it. But the explosion of flavors, there's a lot going on. I think one of the only things I'm not really tasting is like a leathery complexity to it, which I like leather, but this is really, really, really tasty.
I don't know. I get a little earthy wood.
There's some earthiness and wood in there.
I do get the earthy wood. I do get a touch of a dark roasted coffee.
Yep.
Bitterness. That, I guess you could say that's what that bitterness. Now, when I got off the smell before I lit it, I did get a little bit of the earthy funk, but I got this caramel or a sweetness that was getting off the foot and the wrapper itself. And then after I smelled it kept going back and smelling it, I tended to pick up some type of a fruit, like almost like an apple, kind of like a
road apple.
No, like a Roma, is it the Rome or Roma apple?
I don't know. There's a Roma tomato.
It's not like it's not like a green apple, and it's not like the Red Delicious. It's kind of like I'm trying to think
something
now.
in between, but a sweetness.
Yeah, a little sweet, but also has a little bit of tartness with it as well, right?
Okay.
One of those kind of apples, and a type of a fruit flavor. I did get some touch of a fruit, but I couldn't quite make it out what it was. The retro hell on the cigar, though. I agree with John. It does have a good punch to start off with. I want to see what happens later on. Like I say, I was getting some of that cinnamon spice. The cigar is the flavor of the cigar is staying on my palate. But now, because it's been a while since I've even smoked it, now I just get a really nice cinnamon flavor on my tongue, mixed in with some wood a little bit. I got a little touch of vanilla, not much.
I did a slow retrohale. Check it for like toasted nuts. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
And on the finish, there's it's like a bready rye toast or something.
There is a bread character, like a grainy.
Yeah, like a grainy bread on the finish.
Yeah, kind of like a grainy bread, or like
So-
a very lightly very lightly toasted
But
piece of toast.
Well put together cigar. Lots of complexity in this thing. We'll keep checking the flavors as we go through it. But yeah, I'm definitely liking this cigar right off the burn on the front.
Yeah. So Jamie wanted Lee to know, was asking you if you really enjoy the Rittenhouse is Jamie's favorite rye.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, because when we walked outside, Dave told everybody because for our whiskey competition, we all walked outside, and Jamie was going to pick from I think like 10 different bottles, maybe more. And Dave goes, I don't know where and I don't know when, but Jamie is going to pick a Rittenhouse. And I think I actually guessed that particular bottle, although I had never had Rittenhouse before. But because it had such a unique flavor and I had all those ryes before, I put that down for that one. Or at least I believe I did. Dave finally got a Dave finally got a Redbreast 12, huh?
I did.
Oh, you did. Oh, so there you go, Dave. Jeff got a bottle of red breast oil, but Dave's looking for the cash strength, and those are very hard to come by. A lot of the restaurants take those up.
Yeah.
There. Didn't we decide that we weren't going to really go with like someone else's tasting notes or anything for the cigars?
Well, generally, there was a couple shows where we kind of read right into the tasting notes instead of telling the audience what 3 amateurs get out of it, and then go to the tasting notes to give them, hey, here's what other people pulled out of it. They either agreed with us or, they went off in different directions. And then we say, can I get that? I mean, use a little bit of groupthink, because everybody's palate runs different in their head. Yeah. So, yeah, we can certainly talk about what other people said. But
I didn't really look up any of that stuff. I did get a little bit from the website, and they basically said nutmeg, black pepper, and black tea. I guess I could get the black tea maybe a little bit, but I'm getting, like I say, they just put a couple down. They didn't really go too much into it.
You and I were pretty much even on this one. You picked up more on the nose than I did, but the flavors were circling all around it. So, all right. So that's Nick calling in.
We got someone calling in. Now, for those of you who don't know, if you're joining in, we did give the cigar to Nick, and we also gave him a sample of the whiskey that we're going to be trying here in a little bit.
All right, Nick, you with us? Hold on, I gotta increase the volume here.
Yeah, put it up near
All
the
right.
speaker.
Yep. So we can hear you.
Yeah, so I got a lot of similar notes that you guys got. I was getting a lot of coffee, toasted coffee, nuts, a lot of earth, actually, especially on the retro hill. I was getting a lot of a earthy flavor.
So you got nuts in your mouth?
Hey, Nick, isn't most coffee toasted? Isn't that like every coffee?
hey, just because I like coffee doesn't mean it's the only thing I get, all right? And you guys got coffee too. So
Yes, we did.
You guys could
I just loved it that you said toasted coffee. I'm like, wait, I think they roast all coffee.
I want to hear more about you got nuts flavor in your mouth.
You got nut flavor in his mouth, baby.
Yeah, I got nuts. That's what I'm saying. I got nuts. I'm also crazy, so I mean, it goes hand in hand, right?
So what'd you get on the nose?
On the nose, it was just more barn funk. It wasn't like a sweet barn funk or like heavy barn funk. It was just, run-of-the-mill, kind of you walk into a barn type of barn funk. It wasn't anything spectacular. I wasn't able to pick anything else out. But yeah, no, overall, the flavor so far has been just really smooth. I'm getting a little bit of pepper on the retro hail.
Yep.
Not like a cayenne pepper, but like a black pepper.
Yep. Exactly.
But otherwise, this is so far, it's a great stick.
Yeah, and the first time I tried these, I was at the chapel in Bend, and he actually had the egg roll. He had all 4 of them.
Oh,
so I got to have the egg roll, the chop suey, and the kung pao.
Call out to John Poe in the chapel. It was his birthday today, I think?
Oh, happy birthday.
So it was either today or yesterday. So happy birthday, John. I haven't seen you guys over there in a while, but hopefully before the end of the year, I'll be able to get over there and we'll celebrate your birthday in style.
Yeah. All right, well, enough about the cigar. Let's talk about the whiskey. Like I say, the cigar's around anywhere between high $5 range to maybe $7 range. These that I got these at Timber Valley, and they were $6.85. Because I had smoked all the ones that I bought at John's at the chapel. So let's get into the whiskey. The whiskey that we're doing is the Nikka Coffee Grain.
Not coffee.
And it's not like coffee that you drink. It's coffee because of the style of the. Actually, let me show them. I'll see if I can scoot back and show them. It actually has a picture of the style of steel, and that's the coffee steel. There.
Shut up, nice.
So it's not a column steel or anything like that. It's a unique style of a steel that was created by a gentleman named Nikka Coffey in 1830 in Scotland. And so a gentleman named Mazataka Takatsuru Suru, he was originally being
Zulu.
Yeah, he was originally being sponsored by the Setsu Shuzo company, but they ended up cutting his sponsorship about halfway through while he was in Scotland. He ended up being sponsored by another company called, at the time, Kotobukiya, which later on became Suntory. So all those of you guys who know anything about Japanese whiskey, the Suntory distilleries make some of the better Japanese whiskeys around. Mr. Mazataka, he went over to Scotland. He got his degree from one of the universities there in chemistry, and then while he was doing his degree, he started working in some of the distilleries.
If we have any Japanese people watching, my apologies for mispronouncing the names.
It's a lot of consonant.
John?
Yeah.
John, I was going to say, Dean, you need to start picking whiskeys where you can pronounce the shit.
Mazakaka.
Or at least practice the names a couple times.
Mazakaka.
You know,
I keep screwing up. Mazakata. Mazakata.
It's too bad that he did not have me write the notes, because I would have put, Mazatata Bukaki.
Yeah. So anyway, he started to learn how to distill, and he learned he got his feet wet learning how to distill on the coffee still, which was created by Mr. Coffee.
You got his feet wet from all the Bukaki, or?
Yeah, no, not that.
Of course, Dean would be into Bukaki.
Yeah,
That's right.
So look, this is pretty. I think this is pretty cool. When he came back, he kept a personal journal of all the stuff that he had learned and everything, and he kept 2 books that he kept, and these 2 books actually became the first published book of how to do whiskey in Japan. So he's literally the godfather of whiskey
In Japan.
When he got back over there, I think he got back over in the early 60s, and then he started to, he ordered a coffee still to come over and stuff like that, but he was helping some other companies teach people how to do stuff. And so when he first started the Nikka company, he actually distilled fruit, is what he originally first started doing. But then later on, he started doing actual coffee, or actually doing grain whiskey.
Grain rings with the coffee still.
Yeah, with that. If it weren't for this man doing what he did, we wouldn't be able to have. And look, a lot of people. I love Japanese whiskey. I think it's really good. It's delicate. It's a very delicate. It's not a very full forward kind of spirit like a bourbon or anything like that. But I tell you what, on a really nice hot day, I'll take a Suntory Hibiki or a Hibiki.
Yeah. So there's basically 2 major distilling houses in Japan, right? Or at least there was Yamazaki and Nikka.
Yeah, and the Kotobukiya actually became the Suntory, and this gentleman actually also helped to build the first Yamazaki distillery as well.
Yeah. We gave Nick a long test tube, so he's out on the island right now, probably drinking out of the test tube like a mad scientist. And
So, John, actually, the house that we are staying at actually came with glasses, so I was lucky enough to be able to take it out of the mad scientist tube and put it in an actual glass, which has helped the flavor on it a lot.
So have you already tasted it before swirling the girly?
Yeah, you didn't.
I swirled the girly and I cheered my wife.
Oh.
So what'd you get on the nose? While we swirly the girly, you can tell us
then
what
I'll
you got
give
on
you
the nose.
Kind of a breakdown of the bill. Oh, that was horrible.
I have my hands all over my glass.
Like next to the one.
Hey, try again. It looks pretty bad on this end.
There we go.
So I think you can hear that.
Yeah.
So all right, what'd you get on the nose?
So on the nose, it's very sweet. I got a very flavor. I got a little bit of vanilla. I got a little bit I got some like oak barrel, kind of like the smokiness to it, but it wasn't a heavy smoke. Otherwise, like on the nose itself, I'm ready to drink this.
Yeah, then for me, the nose and the palate, two completely different things.
Yeah.
The nose for me was sweet, as you said, maybe apple-like, and yeah, a touch of smoky sweetness. But I got like apples and a lot of floral. But then when I tasted it, a lot of toasted oak, vanilla, caramel. Still on the light side, not real heavy, but definitely a nice light summer
Eric
kind of
says
style.
it's really hard to hear Nick.
It's hard to hear Nick.
Yeah, so maybe moving
Put him-
closer to the microphone or
I'll
something.
turn
I
up the
don't know.
volume a little bit more. I actually turned down the volume a little bit because I
Or
thought
you
maybe
could
he was
just
coming out too.
push your thingy down.
Yeah, do
Yeah,
that.
maybe that'll help.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Eric, for letting us know that.
So Nick, why don't you just give us a test 1, 2, 3?
Yeah.
Check 1, check 2, check 3. I think that's a little bit louder now.
Okay.
So all right, I can make it a little more louder.
Okay, so the price on this is about $72.95, or maybe a little bit less or a little bit more, depending upon which state you are. The grain makeup of this is the majority of it's corn. So this is like an American bourbon.
Interesting.
But what they do is for this one, I don't know that much about the coffee. So they make the coffee. They do the coffee grain, which is what this one is, and then they also do a coffee malt. Now the coffee just is the still that it's done in, and the still, what they do is it is a continuous still, so you're always stilling 24 hours a day with this. So because the coffee still is very temperamental, and you have to really know what you're doing with it, or you can screw up the spirit. And also the efficiency of it is less than most of your standard pot still and or column stills. So that's the breakdown of this. It's a 90 proof spirit, but they say that they both do the coffee grain and the coffee malt whiskeys to showcase the beauty of the coffee stills themselves, of what they can impart upon the spirit.
I've been chewing on mine and aerating it, just way overdoing it. And when you do that, you get some cinnamon and some chocolatey notes out of it.
No, I do get the cinnamon.
I was gonna say, John. I was gonna say, like the first thing I got out of it when I swirled it around in my mouth, I got chocolate right off the bat.
And it could be very well that the cigars that we're smoking is pulling that flavor out too.
Well, I waited a bit,
Yeah.
but no, it's definitely in there.
So they say the body on this is supposed to be medium to medium full. As far as a Japanese whiskey goes, this is a very full flavored whiskey.
Yes,
Compared to, and those of you who have had,
but it's interesting because I think full flavored, like a really rich mouthfeel.
yeah,
Mouthfeel.
Mouthfeel.
Yes, but it's light on the mouth feel, but yet a lot of flavor that is rich and complex. And actually, with the finish, when I smoke the cigar with it, I get some more of that earthy chocolate that comes through.
everybody says that's way better. Now they can hear Nick a lot better on the system.
So I did the whiskey, then the cigar, and I actually got like a chocolate covered toast.
Okay. So the flavors that they say you should be getting is cinnamon, orange, and I do kind of get a little orange citrusiness on that.
In the very beginning, I did.
Mango and papaya. This is supposed to be, so this particular whiskey does have a little bit more of a sweeter essence to it than what you would normally. But although, no, if you want to compare it to a bourbon, no, but some bourbons can be sweet. Like Woodford Reserve is kind of sweet.
Yeah, but they're really caramely.
And that's because they use first run barrels. For this company, all the barrels that they use are second fill barrels and or rebuilt barrels or recharred American oak barrels. So all they use is American oak barrels for this. So that's why you can tend to get some of that wood essence from this versus like what we tend to get on some of the Like a hibiki, you're not going to get any of these flavors.
No,
You're going to get like a soft, floral, delicate.
As my mouth is getting warmed up to it,
Yeah.
a lot of it now is just on the finish. Even with before and after smoking a cigar, then spirit,
Yep.
then cigar, there's still that chocolate toast kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
like a chocolate beignet. Maybe it's not. It's like bready but chocolate.
It's almost like, John, it's almost like a chocolate bread pudding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
don't
get a
know
lot
if
of
I would
orange.
do that.
I get orange if I just drink it quickly.
Yeah.
And not let it sit on
Yeah.
the palate. Then I get that kind of hint of orange
Yeah.
peel.
Yeah,
So-
you do kind of, and the thing is the orange. I think the orange is developing more on our palates the more we drink it. And if you notice, sometimes when you're drinking a spirit, what you taste the first 2 times isn't necessarily what you're going to taste like on the 6th sip or the 7th sip, because your palate tends to get accustomed to some of those flavors, and they take a back seat, and the other flavors start to come forward.
Yep. So if I swallow quickly, there's more of that vanilla.
I would definitely say if you haven't tried any Japanese whiskeys, this might be a very good one, especially if you're a big bourbon drinker.
Listen, Nikka's a good brand.
They're
no matter
barrel
what
proof.
expression they have.
Their Nikka barrel that I got a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
You and I love that
So
thing.
that's
that was
one in
I
the
think that
smaller
was
bottle, right?
Yeah, it was in a small.
So-
it's still a 750 milliliter bottle, but it's a square shape, so it's not as big as this.
Okay. Go
Hey,
ahead, Nick.
Dean, how easy accessible is the Nikka Coffee?
You can pretty much almost. I mean, you can look for it on Oregon Liquor Search. It's not terribly hard to find. The Nikka barrel is harder to find. That sells out pretty quick.
For outside of Oregon, you can go to Bevmo. You can go to Total Wine and More. They almost always have it, as
Yeah.
well as a couple of the other expressions, along with Hibiki and Yamazaki and some other ones. So they're really starting to. They have not really starting to, but they've been a pretty big player in the market now for like the last 7-8 years. They've really made a name for themselves, and they can call themselves Scotch because some of them are actually aged over in Scotland.
Yeah, well, in Scotland, in Scotland even told them that they could name their stuff Scotch if they wanted to because of the process that they do, even in Japan, even if it's not in Scotland.
Yep, they work
And
very
the Jap-
closely with Scottish
and
distillers.
the Japanese said, no, we're not going to do that. Because I don't think I've ever seen a Japanese whiskey. Noah so Noah's in our audience. Noah, have you ever seen? So Noah's drank some pretty good Japanese whiskeys, I would suspect.
But they do that for brand recognition, right? They don't want to say, oh, this is a Scotch, because people think of Scotland. They want to think about Japanese whiskey.
Well, but they also had enough respect and are humble enough as a nation to not take that name.
That's
Right.
how they
Yeah.
are, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to disrespect anybody, so they kind of made their own, and they own it.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these expressions is like never had that flavor before anywhere.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's really good. Yeah, job well done, Nikka. This is fantastic.
Yeah, Jeff wanted to know if the coffee still is made in the United States. No, it was not made in the United States. I believe that Nikka is the only, maybe the only company in the world that still does the coffee. And the reason why the coffee stills got phased out in Scotland is because of the fact that they're temperamental and that their efficiency isn't as good as a pot still and or a column still. And that's the reason why. But they say the steel, this particular design of steel, what it does is it allows more flavor of the grains of whatever you're using to the steel to come forward in the spirit. So, like I say, to me, I think it's one of the more full-bodied Japanese Scotch.
And it's so smooth.
And it's
I'm
supposed to
drinking
be.
it, and there's no burn, and
Yep.
we haven't had any water to it yet.
Oh,
and
there's no way I'd put
you can-
water in this.
So, yeah. I'm going to just to see what happens, because that's what we're doing the show for. Let's experiment. But we could easily kill off this bottle.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. This ball's like an hour.
All right, so I'm
So
gonna
I
add.
added smoke to my spirit, and I actually got a chocolate-covered orange.
Ah,
Oh, there you go. There's the orange.
Hey, I might do that. Hold on a second. Let me do that real
I'm going to
quick.
add water. Dean's going to add a little bit of smoke. Just need to increase what I have in here for my water. Otherwise, I'll drown it. All right. So Nick, tell us a little bit about what you're seeing right now. You're outside. Are you looking over the ocean?
Oh my gosh, let me tell you. Crystal clear skies, not a cloud in the sky. It's a comfortable 62 degrees right now. No wind. Sitting out on the back deck, just listening to the birds chirp. And earlier today, I had planes taking off. I guess we're really close to an airstrip where biplanes and regular planes can both take off.
Well, we can only allow trains and planes when we're doing remote shows.
Fair. I mean, I'm remote. You guys might be home, but I'm remote.
Yeah.
Can't shake the camera to show people how much rumbling is going on from the volume of the noise.
Yeah. No, I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous up here. One of Jessica's cousins, we went to their wedding over the weekend, and he said that Orcas Island is stereotypical Pacific Northwest, and he was not kidding. It is absolutely gorgeous up here.
Yeah, that's a nice island to go to. Hey, so you and Jessica need to make sure y'all go to, it's up on a hillside, but there's a really cool pottery. Of course, they have several of them, but God, I wish I could remember the name of it. But they have some really cool pottery. It's a family that owns it, but they have other guest potters that come there and they'll do stuff and everything. But they have some really cool glasses and stuff.
So we went to a place called Forest Ceramic Gallery.
Yeah, it's
and
not
this
a
guy
gallery.
has been he's been showcased by Artist Informant or something like that, like a bunch of the local Artist Insider or something like that. But yeah, no, we saw some potteries and some bowls that were handmade, just absolutely amazing.
Nice. So Dean and I kind of swapped back and forth between the smoky expression and water expression. Water doesn't really provide any nuances or anything. It's just I wouldn't do it. It doesn't really add. It takes away more than it does add. It just makes it a little bit smoother
Exactly.
to
That's
drink.
what I was going to say.
The smoke, though, I definitely got some orange out of the smoke.
Yeah, and chocolate.
Yeah, like what Nick said. It definitely pulls out that orange chocolate. So if you're drinking it and you want to mess around and add smoke like what we commonly do, this one is a good expression to do it to because it definitely pulls out the chocolate orange.
Yeah, everybody, hit the thumbs up for us. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscription button. I don't know where it might be at, but just look for it. But yeah, that's all I had for the information on these. I think both of these are a very good pairing. You're a lot further down in your cigar. Has your cigar changed at all?
Hard to tell because it's blending so well with the whiskey. The flavors are now kind of one. I'm smoking the cigar. I'm getting the same mix of flavors that I'm getting from the whiskey. So a little bit of the cigar is in the whiskey now, and some of the flavor of the whiskey is in the cigar. So it is a very good pairing.
Yeah, really good.
It's hard to distinguish. It's just this is a little bit more smoky. I get a little bit more of the orange with the cigar now, and I get a little bit more of the chocolate with this. And they're just kind of really doing well melding together. Before they were two different things. So yeah, the toasty notes I was getting on there, the toasted nuts that Nick and I were getting and you were getting, that seems to have subsided a little bit, mostly because this is probably washing it down. But no, this is a good pairing. Nick, what do you think?
So I'm about halfway through the stick, and I'm actually getting more of that of an actual like toasted, graham crackery, bready taste more out of it. But I mean, I'm with you, John. This pairing is probably one of the better ones that we've had, where once you start the pairing, it's really hard to tell the difference because they just blend so well together.
Yeah, Dean is doing 2 of these in a row. He's hosting 2 shows in a row, and he was chomping at the bit because this has been sitting at.
It's been sitting. The cigars have been sitting in your house for 2 months, and the whiskey's been sitting in here for about a month.
Though at least he was given to me before we went on
Oh,
vacation.
I didn't give y'all the breakdown of the cigar. Shoot. Of the tobacco that's used in it.
All right, let's hear it.
So the breakdown of that is, hold on a second, let me find it, Dean, find it. Where is it at?
While
Okay.
he's finding it, I think the filler is Nicaraguan because there's a pepper backbone to this bad boy.
Yeah, well, you're wrong.
Yeah, that could be just a Lajero leaf.
Yeah. It is a Honduran Habano wrapper. The binder is Indonesian, and then the filler is a blend of Dominican, Honduran, and Mexican filler. Wow. Yeah. So I was able to hold true to John's little premise of having cigars be, and this is the last cigar for me.
It's the last cigar for us for the month.
For the show, for the month.
Yep.
And so at least we finished it off with a Mexican tobacco in the cigar.
We will not be doing a show on Memorial Day. So everybody go out there and, go to your services, do your barbecues, do whatever you need to do. We're going to, be out there smoking salads, individually. I think you're going fishing.
I'm going fishing Monday with Ryan Poltz. We're going to see, I think he's going to see if he can bring his GoPro camera. We're going to see if we can hopefully we can get a Springer on. Last time I did get by a Springer. I thought he was on. He was pulling out drag and everything, but he was only on for about 3 seconds and let go. Ryan said he might not even had a hook in his mouth. He goes, he very well could have had the blade from the lure in his mouth, and that's it. So maybe I should have. I mean, I didn't even get the rod out of the holder before it just popped right off. So, so this next time, I guess I'm just going to let it sit in the holder, because on one of the videos, this kid gets one, and everybody in the boat goes, just let it sit in there, just leave it alone. And everybody brings in all their gear, and meanwhile, that rod tip on that rod is just going down in the water. He goes, okay, now pull it up and reel him in.
So real quick, before I forget, and I've already forgotten.
We do have a request, though.
Okay,
so finish what you're
we'll do my thing, then the request. Coming up in June, we've got 2 events in the Portland, Oregon area. June 18th at Cascade Cigar and Tobacco. We will be doing Oliva with the Mr. Winner of Song and Dance himself, Brenton.
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah, he won like $135,000.
$125,000.
125.
Yeah.
So you'll be in Cascade Cigars and Tobacco on June 18th. Not sure the times yet. I don't know if it's 2 to 6 or might shorten it up a little bit, 2 to 4. Let people, kind of go out and get their sticks and then go enjoy the summer days. The other one coming up really soon is the My Father event with Matt Sass, and that will be at Sellwood. I don't know the exact date. Nick, do you remember the exact date of when that's going to be?
That, I think, was June. I think it's the middle of June. Ryan knows. I know Ryan does because he got a text during the club meeting last week.
Okay, hopefully it's not the 18th. If it's the 18th, we'll see if we can't, swap around one or both of them. Nothing worse than having 2 events to try to go to. So, but I don't think they're on the same day. So those are upcoming. Of course, August 12th and 13th, we got the Northwest Cigar Fest. Tickets are on sale with Bright Tix, so make sure you reserve your VIPs or your single-day passes. Those will sell out pretty soon as we're getting closer to the summer months, and the VIPs usually sell out pretty darn quick. So those are the events that I'm aware of, at least for the Vancouver, Portland area.
Yeah, I don't know of any. Dave Epcot requested that we add a little bit of Lagavulin to this. But, Dave, I don't know if he has a bottle of Lagavulin. He might have partaken of that all the way.
No, I think I do. Lee, can you go into the storage room and see if I've got
We're going to see if we can acquire a bottle real quick.
I'm pretty sure I do.
So Ryan says that it's July 7th.
Okay, so early June. So, Sellwood, July 7th. My Father with Matt Sass.
Yep.
There you go.
Of course, yes. Smoking Salads, or at least, I don't know if all of us will be there, but we'll be there representing Smoking Salads. Some of us will be. So all right, well, Lee is.
So
is
Rod replied, "Love me some Dave Babcock," and then Dave goes, "Who doesn't?" All right, so we're gonna sit there and wait. Like we say, would you suggest this cigar and spirit?
Absolutely. This is a great pairing. Thumbs up for me. Nick?
100%. Like, especially on the price point for both of these things, it's not atrociously expensive, and they're almost one and the same. Once you start them together, it's hard to tell the difference.
Yeah, they really do blend together. So Lee hasn't come back out of the room yet. He either got lost or I don't have a bottle, which is blasphemy in this house.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that used to be one of your standbys.
Well,
that and the Magnum of the Macallan, which.
Well, I used to have the 18 all the time, not the Magnum, but
well, you had the Magnums too.
To the 12.
Yeah.
It only
the
comes
Magnums
to
of the 12. Yeah.
So,
no, not anymore. Not for what, $140 now for those or more.
It's all the prices have gone up.
Yeah.
So 18, I mean, I used to buy that for like 120 bucks. Well worth it. So I always had a bottle on my shelf. But now that it's like 350 bucks, it's like not really worth 350. And you know, it's an age expression, right? So the minimum age in there is 18. So there we go.
Oh, there we go. Yes. Bring forth.
One.
Oh,
So
no,
bring
that's the
forth the
Offerman
bottle.
edition, isn't
So-
it? No, it's
No,
not.
it's
No,
the
it's not.
regular.
It's the, okay. Although the Offerman edition that's done in, so this year's Offerman edition through Lagerland, they finished it off in Guinness barrels. And so it's got a nice dark chocolatey flavor to it, really good. I think those are about 85 bucks a bottle for those, because they are limited release. I'm just going to put just a tiny bit in mine.
Yeah, I put probably
That's
a little
it.
bit. Yeah, I put about the same amount.
Yeah, I
in
put about 5 drops in mine, because
so
you
you
don't.
can-
You want to be an accent flavor, not
I can smell the
overpowering.
smoke.
So, John, while you're messing with that stuff, I gotta tell you guys, if anybody that's listening or you guys get a chance to come up to Orcas Island, there's a pub in East Sound that you've got to go to and get the rosemary bourbon. Jess and I went there and we had the bartender make us an old fashioned, but she used a homemade rosemary simple syrup and used Knob Creek rye.
Oh, okay.
And I gotta tell you, it is hands down the best old fashioned I've ever had.
Well, I typically don't drink old fashions. Not that I don't like them, but they're just too sugary for me.
So then what you need to do, Nick, is you need to go back to that bar and ask and see if he'll tell you how he creates it. Like, how long does he put the rosemary in at the end or the beginning, or does he put it like in like a
Is he
little
infusing
cheesecloth,
it?
like a tea?
Yeah.
Put it in a cheesecloth and put it in there for like 5 minutes, and that's it. You know.
So I did research, and literally you can make it in an hour.
Well, we know that, but ask him his procedure.
At the beginning, you put the rosemary in at the beginning.
Okay.
Okay. So, with the Lagavulin added, I may have added just a splash too much. It kind of takes away the sweetness, and it takes away the harshness from the Lagavulin, not harshness, but the tarriness. But yeah, I'd have to add maybe half of the amount to just get that smokiness, but yours good?
That tastes good.
Okay.
Yeah, the Lagerland in mine is just, it adds more of a woodiness. It brings up more of a woodiness. Adds a little bit of bitterness to it. But I like it. It's a very good accent flavor to it.
Okay, you probably added half as much as me, so I probably added 3 drops. You probably added maybe a drop and a half.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
On the
So
finish, though,
Eric,
you can get that.
so Eric
smoke
on the
and tar.
chat said that I think he's smoking the same stick. He said it was pretty good with Eagle Rare.
Okay.
I just opened a bottle of Michter's unblended American whiskey.
Oh, there you go.
Let me tell you, there are some good oaky flavors coming between the spirit and the cigar.
All right.
I would be safe in saying I think this cigar would pair with a lot of different spirits.
Agreed. Whether they're sweet or whether they're smoky.
Yeah.
It's pretty versatile. There's a lot of flavor in this cigar that's going to blend pretty well. And then the cigar's pretty
Yeah.
versatile, as you said.
Eric, try if you. I don't know if you guys have it, but try the Woodford Reserve Double Oak. That I
There you
think
go.
that would go very well with this. Or if you happen to have, what was that one? I took it when we went camping, Dave. God, what is the name of the? It's actually owned by Macallan. owns the distillery, but it's made here. It's a bourbon that's made here in the United States.
I don't know.
Shoot.
But I can tell you in 2 weeks, the cigar we're going to do is the Asylum Friday the 13th. So if you are interested in trying it with us, I think most cigar shops in the Oregon market and Washington market have them. They carry Asylum. They will probably have it.
Yeah.
Comes in 5-packs, so you got to buy the 5-pack. It is a really good cigar. It's the Friday the 13th. I'll talk more about it during the show, but it's once they're gone, they're gone. So they only produce it once a year, and it's different every year. It's kind of like an experimentation kind of a thing. So kind of test the market, see how well they like it, and then they can make other cigar brands if it really has a good response. So that's what we're going to do in 2 weeks. I don't know what we're going to drink with it just yet, but that'll be forthcoming. And I think we're running out of time.
Yeah,
Before you go, John, just an idea. Maybe we should do a giveaway. Maybe you should buy an extra stick and do a giveaway of the Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I've got a lot of smoking salad swag that we've been kind of sitting on.
Yeah.
We will be doing a giveaway. We will announce what that is going to be.
And we will announce it in like a thumbnail or something before the show.
Yeah, we'll get that announced so people know, what we're going to be giving away, and then we'll have to, the three of us will figure out, what do we want to do for the giveaway? Is it a trivia question, or
we can give away some of those small T-shirts.
So we can actually say, okay, here's the people who are commenting on our show.
Yeah.
And if you haven't commented on the show and you're just sitting back and watching, you're not going to win some swag.
Yeah, you got to comment.
So got to comment. That might be another thing. We'll announce at the beginning of the show what's going to win it.
Yeah, and maybe in the future we'll break out some trivia questions.
Yeah. So we will be doing more giveaways in 2 weeks. That's going to be kind of our standard. We'll have a giveaway every Monday show. Of course, we'll have our quick, 5-10 minute, or in Dean's case, 45 minutes shows off on Tuesdays through Sundays. But those will be on Facebook for now until I figure out how to get you guys full access to
YouTube. We're working on that.
It's a bigger pain than we thought.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that's it.
Wait a second. Wait. Eric said, now try it with a little bit of Jameson cold brew. That does not exist at this house, Eric's.
No, it does not.
And then Floating and Smoking Ryan Polt said, try it with a few shots of Jaeger. No.
Yeah, why don't you try some of your Gatorade with some of this stuff?
Yeah, there we go.
With that, thanks for watching. Remember to share.
Yep.
Tell other people that you like the show. And with that, it's one more clinkety clink.
Clinkety clink.
Clinkety clink. And
that was a good one.
Yeah, everybody out there in the internet land, enjoy smoking
Salads.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thanks, John.
You guys take care.
Later, Nick.
All right,
See you guys.
See if you're a part of the live audience, who up here might want to come up here and try some of this Nikka Coffee Grain whiskey from the land of Japan.